You can identify some of the motivators that would make a woman think and feel and perhaps even behave differently.
If we're going to impact the American culture to restore important values and beliefs, we have to be where those values are formed, and that's mass media.
That really changes the whole paradigm in the pro-life movement.
We use mass media to really help build a culture where no woman feels like she has to have an abortion. A culture where she can find love and support, and where she will know that that child that she is carrying is welcomed. And that's what we do.
They said you wouldn't be bothered by a voice calling for you in the night.
You feel totally alone, even though people say they support you, like your friends. You feel that you should feel better at that point, but you don't, because you know that they've never been through it. They don't know what you're going through, but yet they're trying to tell you what to do. And it was so hard because you just feel completely alone. I remember crying in my room for days and days and days.
The right brain is much less known or understood. It's the seat of emotion and motivation, and so if that's where motivation is, we've got to access that to find out why people do what they do.
The research is just groundbreaking. I think it really helped us all understand how to speak to the women that are looking at the issue of abortion. It really helped us begin to know what goes through a woman's mind on an emotional level when she looks at the abortion issue, and how to begin framing the messages.
Being alive today has special meaning for both of us. There have been times when I almost didn't make it. But the one time I had the most to lose was before I was even born. My mom was young, single, no money. I'm sure it wasn't easy for her to give me a chance. But today, I know she'd be very proud that her decision saved more than one life.
We've had interest from Canada. We have had interest recently from Mexico. We've had inquiries from Australia, from New Zealand. We've had inquiries from Ireland, from England, from Germany. We've actually partnered with a group from England who came over, spent some time with us, really learned about the research, about the way that we approach advertising, the way that we approach media.
I believe if you counted all the markets where we've actually been present, I would say that you're close to 57 media markets. And that would be, I think, last count, about 29 different states. In New York, abortion is marketed in 29 different languages. If you really want to get to the essence of the market, you've got to spend some time in the market. You've got to walk the streets. You got to listen to people. You got to get into their emotional feelings.
We started at one crisis pregnancy center 22 years ago. Now we have 15, and we're about to put a mobile unit on the road.
Advertising changes the way people think, and it changes the way people behave, and that's why we see close to $100 million being spent for 30 seconds during the Super Bowl. Coming to New York was a very important development in the growth of Vitae and our mission. The ability to partner with EMC Frontline Pregnancy Centers has been tremendous. We've learned how to construct the message.
And in that particular market, there are more abortions than live births. So it becomes a pretty weighty moral decision. Which audience do I try to reach?
Unlike an attitude-changing message where you're trying to change the view of abortion, here we're just trying to get a woman facing an unintended pregnancy to come in to be counseled. And so our messages have to maximize the direct response impulse to pick up the phone and call the number.
It's frightening being 17. and pregnant. Not daring to talk to anyone. Desperately wanting to know what other girls did. And how it worked out. Where can I find out stuff like that?
New York City has the most abortions of any American city. We have the most abortion clinics. We have the highest rates of abortion. We have the most late-term abortions, the most repeat abortions. 1 out of 10 of America's abortions are committed in this city. The Vitae Caring ads that we've run for EMC's direct response mission have worked very effectively. We've generated, with a modest $75,000 campaign, over 1,100 good incoming calls, and translated that into over 400 visitors to the centers. 2/3 of these mothers were considering an abortion, majority of them pregnant, and we were able to save an incredible 138 lives. $75,000 translated into 138 lives saved.
Look at what we've done in 2005 and 2006 in partnership with EMC Frontline Pregnancy Centers as a pilot project, and it's showing us that this is worthwhile.
Our counselors are very attuned to where those calls are coming in from, and they hear in the voices tears, and they hear people choked up. You can hear the television going in the background in most cases when people are calling. So we know they are acting immediately on these telephone calls.
If you've never been to Dallas, you need to go there. It has great people. People that really want to make a difference. They want to help, they want to reach out to others, and so we've built a lot of strong relationships with organizations and people alike. Our entry into the market in Dallas was pretty big and bold. It was a little over a $400,000 buy. There's 4 media markets in Texas, and 3 of the other markets the abortion rate went up in following that buy, and in this media market the abortion rate went down. We found that in Los Angeles there were actually opportunists on street corners that were filling the abortion clinics with women, and getting a percentage. And that's how the abortion industry gets their business there. So we realized we had to develop some different forms of media.
I wish I could have been a doctor.
They say our children are the future.
I'd have been a famous actress.
Yet 1 out of every 3 black babies are aborted here in our country.
I wish I could have been a basketball player.
Did you know abortion has killed more of our people in the last 3 decades than all other causes combined?
In Seattle, we did our ad buy, but then afterwards we conducted a study and found that the women that saw the ads were really affected by them. And that's in this area that liberal ideologues gravitate to, where abortion was legalized by a vote of the people 3 years before Roe v. Wade was even handed down. One thing about Vitae is we go where many others fear to go.
We were on the air for almost 6 months in the Atlanta media market last year, and that particular campaign, we saw over 7,000 phone calls.
I didn't want to talk to anybody. I became very depressed. I knew I was going to be a mother in 9 months, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And then one day I saw a commercial for Georgia Right to Life, and I was also connected with the Hope Pregnancy Center in Woodstock, and together they brought me through my deepest depression I have ever been in my life. They made me feel loved and accepted to the point where I knew that I was okay even if I was by myself. Through this, I knew I could do it.
During my career, I've come to appreciate the importance of good communication, the power of marketing and advertising. Whoever communicates the most effectively will win the hearts and the minds of Americans on this vital, this crucial issue. It's an honor to be associated with what's now the largest media campaign in the United States, focused on reducing abortion numbers and literally changing the American culture where respect for life, will once again be a core value.
And Vitae Caring has the heart of God. And the dollars that you're going to give to Vitae and help them may end up saving the life of a young man or young woman who may one day grow up to be the President of the United States of America.
Vitae have simply created the best pro-life strategy on the planet Earth. I went to meet Carl LANDWEHR, and it was an inspiration for me to find out that the strategy was backed by such in-depth research. And so it wasn't just that somehow Vitae had got lucky. This was a very, very carefully thought out strategy. So I was sitting there thinking, we should do this on the other side of the Atlantic.
That's what Vitae does. It doesn't point the finger of condemnation. It doesn't say, oh, count on the Supreme Court to do the right thing. It doesn't say the state legislature failed us. It doesn't say the president or the Congress. It says that I helped to save a life.
I wish in my own experience in public service I had been able, with as much grace and with as much clarity, to explain issues as Vitae Caring has done. Thanks to you and all of Vitae.
We're a movement full of passionate people. I have a grandson who was a surprise, and I wear this bracelet every day. And this is a visual reminder to me every single day that I go into work that I am working so that more Devons can come into the world.
I don't even know what my life would be without my daughter. I absolutely love her to death, and she's everything to me. And if I would have made the wrong decision, I would not be the same person I am today. And I thank everybody that got that ad campaign out that I saw. I thank them from the bottom of my heart.